Hi guys, and welcome back to another video where today we're going to be predicting the scores of week 6 of the 2019-2020 Premier League season. But before we get on to this week, as always, let's have a look back at how well we got on last week in week 5.
So last week I had 6 points, with the only correct result, or the only perfect result, being Brighton to draw with Burnley 1-1.
And I came away with just the 2 points, an absolute abomination of predictions. All my predictions went right. I know there was quite a few shocks last week, but 2 points overall was absolute terrible. Looking from the viewer's perspective, headed up by Leicester City. I'm not sure if that is the actual Leicester City, but yeah, Leicester City came away with 8 points, fairly respectable, and they had 2 perfect scores, which was the Liverpool 3-1 victory over Newcastle and the Brighton score draw with Burnley, which ended up as 1-1. Top scorer for the week, however, was Liverpool will win the Premier League this season, and they came away with 10 points, which is a very good haul, considering the amount of you could say freak results last week.
Interesting.
Yeah. But overall now, Nathan, looking at the league table for the whole season, you're on 31 points. I'm just ahead on 32 points. And the viewers coming back into it now on 29 points. So this week, we could see a bit of movement at the top of the table. For those of you who are playing along in the Fantasy Football League, here is the top 10. And in first position, we've got William City, managed by William Robinson. 59 points for the week, and they find themselves on 335 points overall. Top scorer in the fantasy football, though, last week was Ganiru Zubi Akolo, and they had 75 points overall. So Ganiru, I think that's how you pronounce it. Congratulations on that 75 point haul. Nathan, as far as we're concerned, you find yourself in 137th position after getting 47 points last week. 233 points overall, and I had 44 points for the week, continuing my disaster for week 5, and finding myself in 52nd position now. I did find myself in first position at the start of the league, and I had 283 points overall. So both in predictions wise and fantasy football wise, I think both of us got to pick up.
We got to pick up
this week. But enough of that. That's enough of the admin. Let's crack on and make some predictions.
Okay, so first up on Friday night we have the South Coast derby between Southampton and Bournemouth. Now Bournemouth getting a very good and probably an expected victory, well, a 3-1 victory against Everton last week, and Everton have had a pretty decent, well, they're starting to drop off now, but they've had a decent start to the season, to be fair to them, and they currently find themselves in 9th position. They did get those 2 losses beforehand, but Southampton, they're in 10th as well, had a decent start, Hassan Huttle's doing well. This is going to be a close match, but I can actually see Bournemouth going to St Mary's and nicking it at the last minute, and I can see this one being a 2-1 victory to Bournemouth. Yeah, in this match, it's going to be a tight affair. Southampton went away last week and beat the Blades 1-0, of course. Bournemouth had an excellent victory, one of the shocks, you could say. I think a lot of people thought Everton would get at least a draw down there on the South Coast. I think this one's going to be very tight, but I think Southampton, the Saints, are just going to sneak this one 1-0 in the end. I know that Callum Wilson's coming into a bit of form now. Can the Southampton defence cope with him? Possibly. It remains to be seen. But yeah, I'm going to go for a Saints victory on Friday evening, which, if you're an armchair fan, that's great. If you're a Bournemouth fan, okay, it's not that too far down the road, I suppose. So Friday evening fixture there. First of the Saturday fixtures, though, 12:30 on Saturday lunchtime. It's Leicester City against Spurs. Spurs playing away this evening against Olympiacos. It's currently 2-2. I know they were 2-0 up. Last weekend they had a very good victory against Crystal Palace, who had been doing okay themselves. Leicester City narrowly losing 1-0 against Manchester United. I think there's a little bit of controversy in that game. Maybe Leicester City should have got at least a point in that match. This was another tight one, another difficult one to call as well. The fact that Tottenham are playing away this evening, I think Son was on the bench, he started on the bench. Leicester City at home, a little bit more rest than them. They're going to be fired up for this one, especially after that
disappointing, you could say, result against Manchester United, even though in previous years you'd have thought that would have been a straightforward win for Manchester United. However, I'm going to go for a Leicester City win in this one. I'm going to go for 2-1 to the Foxes. I've got every confidence in them that they can beat Tottenham. Tottenham only lost once in the league this season, but yeah, I think the Foxes, for me, are going to win this one 2-1.
Yeah, to be honest, I do agree with you slightly there. I would really like to see Leicester win this one, to be honest. They're definitely capable of doing it, but I just fancy Tottenham's chances in this game. It is Tottenham. They've had a good start to the season. I think they'll start to pick up form now. Pochettino's going to want them as high up the table as possible, I reckon. So I think it's going to be a narrow 2-1 victory to Spurs there. Next up, we have Burnley. And they're going up against Norwich, of course, who beat Man City last week. Played some absolutely beautiful football against Man City.
He did really well.
Did really well. Daniel Farke, amazing manager, especially with the way he's set up the Norwich team. They went in for it when the 2 goals went in, stayed composed, didn't make any changes. They do have the confidence that they can win the games, unlike other teams where they often park the bus against Man City. But going up against a Burnley team, picking up draws, haven't won since the first game of the season. Drew last time around to Brighton, thought that would be a good result for them away. But Burnley are traditionally strong at home. However, I do fancy Norwich sneaking another victory in here. And I think it'll be a narrow 1-0 victory to the Canaries at Turf Moor.
Really? You don't think there's going to be that many goals in it?
I don't think there'll be many goals.
Well, Norwich, looking at Norwich, that was a beautiful win, by the way, against Manchester City last week. Nobody saw it coming. I think we had both had... I thought they were going to have 6 knocked against them last week, and you did as well. But if you look at Norwich's results, they cannot keep a clean sheet. They won 3-2 last week. That's 2 goals conceded. Previous to that, they lost 2-0 to West Ham. Previous to that, there was 3 goals against Chelsea. Prior to that, they beat Newcastle, but they did concede that goal. And before that was Liverpool. First game of the season they conceded 4. So I think they are going to concede in this one as well, away from home. Burnley don't score that many goals themselves. Ashley Barnes hasn't scored for a couple of weeks, so he's due a goal or 2. I think he will score. I think everyone's overreacting with this victory that they did get against Manchester City, even though it was fantastic. A lot of people saying, oh yeah, they're just going to go up to Burnley and win this one. I don't see that. Football's a funny old game, somebody used to say back in the day, and I think Burnley are going to win this one. They're going to bring Norwich back down to earth, because if Norwich lost that one, they would have been probably second from bottom last week if they didn't get that victory. I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory to Burnley in this one.
Interesting.
Next up, we've got Everton against Sheffield United. Now, Everton last week shooting themselves in the foot, going down to the south coast, losing against Bournemouth. A lot of people expected Everton to get at least a draw down there. Sheffield United slightly disappointing last week, not scoring against the Saints, losing 1-0. I think Everton are going to shore up this weekend. Conceding 3 last week is a no-no for them, really. I think Everton are going to win this one. I think they're going to win it narrowly. Hopefully Richarlison and Sigurdsson are going to put in a better performance this week for the Toffees from their point of view, and I can see Everton sneaking a 1-0 win in this fixture.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. However, I think Marco Silva is going to want Everton to have a much more comfortable victory than that. That's why I'm going for 2-0 in this game. I can see probably Richarlison and a Gylfi Sigurdsson Wildy, I imagine, going in this one. I think Sheffield United are going to start to drop off a bit and really struggle from this point onwards. They did have good starts to the season, but this is the part of the season I think they will struggle the most in. But anyway, moving on, we've got Manchester City against Watford now. Man City haven't had the strongest starts of the season. 3 wins, a draw and a loss. Especially that loss last week to Norwich as well.
They do find themselves in second position, although they are 5 points behind Liverpool.
They are 5 points behind Liverpool. Meanwhile, for Watford, they've had a disastrous start. New manager, Quique Sanchez-Flores, managed to get them a draw against Arsenal in the dying minutes after Arsenal's defence just decided to turn off.
If you look at the second half, Watford were all over Arsenal, and really they should have won that match.
They should have won, but Arsenal's defence really needs to be looked at. It's just awful.
It's shocking.
It is. I believe if I'm right in saying, they have kept one clean sheet.
They haven't kept one since the first day of the season,
which is quite a while now, and they've conceded 4 goals in the last 2 matches as well.
8 goals overall. So
8 goals overall, indeed. But going back to Watford, anyway, I can actually see this one being a straightforward Man City win, and Pep is going to want them fired up as anything. And I can see this one being a straightforward 5-0 victory to the Citizens at home.
Yeah, I think Manchester City will bounce back as well. I know they're in Europe away from home this evening, and they're playing on Saturday as well. Yeah. So preparation not the best there. Watford are going to be fired up. They're going to have a little bit of confidence after that draw against Arsenal as well. Maybe they should have got that victory in the end. I think they were 2-0 down as well and come back to 2-2. So
yeah, they were.
Manchester City, strength and depth and everything. I can't see anything than a Manchester City win. However, Manchester City defensively, they are missing a couple of players now through injury, and they do look a little bit 6s and 7s sometimes. They against Norwich, they really could have cut out one of them goals. I think. I'm going to go for a 4-1 victory to the Citizens in this one. I can't see Watford put in a display like they did against Arsenal last week, against Manchester City. They've got to get the ball off them.
Yeah.
Next up, we got the evening kick-off on Saturday between Newcastle United and Brighton. Last weekend, Newcastle actually took the lead against Liverpool, and then Liverpool just overpowered them then, didn't they? Brighton getting an okayish draw themselves at home against Burnley. I tipped Burnley to win that one, but a lot of people did tip the draw. I think they were out without Trossard as well. I'm not sure if he's back for this weekend. That'll be a big boost to them. But going up to Newcastle, I think Newcastle are going to get their second victory of the season in this one. You'd think Brighton could go there and get a draw. Defensively, they seem to be okay up and down, Brighton. But I've got a feeling that Newcastle will win this one, and I'm going to go for a 2-0 victory to the Magpies.
Interesting. Yeah, I agree with you in some sense there. I think Newcastle, they will get a victory, to be honest. I think Brighton will put up a fight up there. Graham Potter's side will be probably playing some nice football. But yeah, I can actually see Newcastle narrowly pulling away in probably the 95th minute with a narrow 1-0 victory. Okay, so next up we have the 2 o'clock fixture on Sunday, and that is between Crystal Palace and winless Wolves. Now, Wolves, terrible starts to the season, lost their last 2 matches, one to Everton, one to Chelsea. And we're really with a heavy defeat to Chelsea, 5-2 I believe it was. So Wolves have to really change around their fortunes, and probably Nuno could be at risk in the future, even though I can't see him sacking him at the moment. But they do need to change things around. Palace, on the other hand, doing alright, 2 victories. They did lose last time out to Tottenham, got destroyed 4-0, but that was against Tottenham. However, Palace have the highest failed to score percentage in the league, I believe 60%, so they aren't scoring that many goals. However, I do think this will be a tight affair at Selhurst Park, and I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be a tight affair. Wolves, are they suffering from this European sort of thing? I don't think so at the moment. I think they're in Europe tomorrow night, aren't they, in Europa League?
Yeah.
So whether that has an adverse effect on them or not, I don't know. I can't see them getting victory in this one. They are away against Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace last week dismantled by Spurs, who they were just rampant against Palace. They're going to want to. Well, they have to turn their fortunes around. They were. I think they were even in the Champions League spots at the beginning of last week as well. But I think this one's going to end in stalemate as well, and I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Next up, we've got West Ham against Manchester United. Now, Manchester United really fortunate to get that victory over Leicester City, in my opinion, and a lot of people have agreed me with that. West Ham drawing away from home against Villa. I think they had the better chances from what I saw on Monday night. I only managed to catch the first half in that one. I think they got somebody sent off in the second, a player sent off in the second half as well. I'm going to stick my neck out on this one. I was thought about this one all day, and I thought it's going to end up in a draw. Manchester United, I think defensively they've been doing okay, especially with Maguire coming into the back line, and Wan-Bissaka. I think he's one of the top players in Europe for tackles, apparently, in the top 5 or 6, which is superb. But I'm going to go for a West Ham victory in this one, and I'm going to go for a 2-1 win. Hallett looked dangerous the other night against Aston Villa, so I'm going to tip him to score this weekend, and I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory to the Hammers.
Interesting. I agree with you though. I think West Ham can definitely pick up points in this one. However, I do think Man United are probably going to end up settling for a draw in this one.
Yeah, I can see that happening as well. So.
Yeah, I think those are the two scenarios that are most likely to happen. So I can see this one being a 1-1 draw there. Probably a Haller goal, to be honest. Anyway, next up we have the 4:30 kickoff between Arsenal and Aston Villa. Now Villa, Tyrone Mings, James El Ghazi. What's happening there? Honestly, El Ghazi should have been sent off really if you go and watch it back. But Villa's really struggling, 17th position. They did draw their last game, however, to West Ham, like we just said. But before they've already lost 3 games this season already, so they really need to improve, especially with the amount of money they spent.
I don't think they've been playing that badly though. So.
Well, they haven't been playing that badly, but they're not picking up the results. That's the problem they're getting. But moving on to Arsenal, honestly, their defence is held up with sellotape and a bit of glue. Some horrifying defending. I mean, Unai Emery might have to resort to putting Mustafi on the pitch, which, when you have to put Mustafi on, that's when you know you have hit rock bottom with your defensive issues, genuinely. So, yeah, even though it is at the Emirates at the end of the day, and Aubameyang and Lacazette, I think, are going to...
He scored 2 goals last week, Aubameyang.
He did score 2 goals last week. I think they're going to oust their defensive problems or cover them up a bit, and I can see this one being a 2-1 victory to Arsenal. Yeah,
I'm going to go for a Gunners victory in this one as well. I think it's going to be 1 more goal, though. I'm going to go for a 3-1 victory to the home side. Villa looking okay-ish at the moment. I don't think they've got the quality to actually get anything against Arsenal. I do think they'll get a goal. But I think Arsenal are going to be way too strong for them in this fixture. Straightforward, especially up front when you look at the likes of Aubameyang up there as well, and Pepe with his dribbles as well. And incidentally, looking stats-wise, if you're into your stats, he's one of the top dribblers in Europe at the moment, but for the number of attempts. Not sure what their expected goals are, but yeah, going forward, Arsenal look quite frightening to some teams in the Premier League. Final fixture of the weekend. On Sunday at 4:30, same time as the Arsenal matches, Chelsea against Liverpool. Liverpool last night going down 2-0 against Napoli in Naples. A rare mistake by Virgil van Dijk to let Napoli in, but I think they were good value for money last night, Napoli.
But some were saying the Dries Mertens penalty was a bit dodgy as well.
It was. I'm not sure if Robertson brought him down on it. It looked very harsh on Liverpool, but they didn't score. So if you're not going to score, you're not going to win, are you? So in this match, Chelsea, okay, even though they're doing okay-ish, better than I thought they would be doing. They're scoring goals, but they're conceding a lot of goals as well. I know that Liverpool have been away in Europe. Chelsea losing at home in Europe as well last night. So
against Valencia.
Yeah. So Lampard maybe he's finding his feet in the Premier League. Maybe not in Europe yet.
Not yet.
But in this one, I think it's going to be tight. I think it's going to be a draw, but I'm going to go for a Liverpool victory, especially after them losing in Europe. Chelsea did as well, but I think Liverpool just going to sneak this one 2-1, and we'll probably see a lot more from Mane and Salah in this one.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Salah and Mane, Firmino will definitely get goals in this one. But after the defensive problems that they had against Napoli earlier, I believe last night it was, I actually think that Liverpool will keep a clean sheet in this one, believe it or not. Even though they have been leaking goals this season a bit, but that's because Alisson's injured. So, and I can actually see this one being a solid 3-0 victory to Liverpool at the Bridge.
Really?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, excellent. So that concludes our predictions for Week 6 of the 2019-2020 Premier League season. Now, as always, I'm going to leave a template of these fixtures in the description. All you need to do is copy and paste them into your comment and listen to this one. Liverpool will win the Premier League this season. Yeah. You can get a shout out in the next video.
This year is
Yeah. Football friends. Yes. Anyway.
Oh my.
As always, it won't be Friday evening. It's probably going to be Friday morning. I'm going to select somebody at random to represent the viewers in our little league table, completely at random. I'll do that as I have in the previous 5 weeks, and we'll see if you can overtake myself and Nathan in the league table. Now, before we go, Nathan, is there anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, so to my channel, link in the description below.
And there'll be a vlog on the weekend?
There will indeed be a vlog because Cardiff City home match playing Middlesbrough at 3 o'clock on
That's
Saturday,
right.
so that should be up by Sunday night.
Hopefully it'll be a good game as well, because
Fingers crossed.
the games haven't been that great so far this season. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. Remember to subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. As always, as everybody seems to do, hit that notification bell as well. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.